work for the leading pharmaceutical companies, and they are increasingly launching a range of precision medicines or personalized medicines, which only work in certain patient types. And to find those patient types, you have to test. And we have stepped into that space to help the pharmaceutical companies make sure that patients are tested. This is everyday clinical testing for cancer, for Alzheimer's, for cardiovascular disease. Our mantra underneath our name is better testing, better treatment. DX is an abbreviation for diagnostics, and RX is an abbreviation for treatment. So by putting DX in front of RX, I think it very much signifies what we do. And interesting, it's become quite a talking point. What the heck does DX, RX mean? And I think it speaks to our mission. There's been an exciting moment for us, a big milestone after 12 years, a long time to be an overnight success. But the listing really gave us access to kind of three key benefits. The first was, I think, rapid access to capital. And this morning we confirmed that we'd raised just over £20 million with a market cap of 53 million. So the markets were very supportive of the story. But in the fast-moving space that we're in, I think we want to make sure that we have future access to capital, and we've introduced 21 institutional investors who I think hopefully will remain supportive of that journey. So I think access to capital was the first. The second is because we work with some of the leading pharmaceutical companies who themselves are major public enterprises, I think they hopefully will appreciate the fact that we will stand toe-to-toe with them in a transparent and regulated way. And I think that hopefully will help drive our own business. And lastly, I think for our team within Diaceutics, we have prided ourselves in spreading the ownership across the entire company. And so we have 46 shareholders this morning across our company who can now look and say, okay, was it worth it to come on this journey with us? So I think for those reasons, it was the right time for us. We have a very clear route map for that. 3 buckets, everything comes in threes in our company. 3 buckets. The first is to acquire greater levels of data insight, and we're hoovering up patient level data from laboratories and insurers. So we want to continue that journey. We have a pretty good coverage in cancer in the United States, but we're building in Europe, we're building in those other markets. I think the second area for us is today we provide our clients with a service which is quite people-centric as well as data-centric. And we want to introduce a platform to that, a software as a service platform. And that will allow us to serve multiple of these diagnostics coming to the market at the same time. And it's got a working title of Nexus. So that'll have an investment, a 24-month investment cycle. And then the last is one of geography. It's very clear that when pharma is looking for a partner in this space, it doesn't just want a solution in New Jersey. It wants that solution in 18, 19 global markets. And so we've already made the investment in the US, in the European 5 markets. We've opened up an office in Singapore in November, and what we want to do is to really populate our Asian business and make sure that we're right-sized as that market takes off. So those 3 buckets broadly I think will amount to the spending pattern. The best way to look at the market is how much money are the pharmaceutical industry spending to get precision testing right. And by our estimates, it's around $1 billion is being invested today. However, it's very apparent from the way the market is shaping that's at least likely to double in the next 4 or 5 years. So we find ourselves with a first mover advantage in a market space which is about to skyrocket, about to tip. And I think the decision for us as a company was always stand still and let someone take it away, or follow the first mover advantage. And obviously we've decided with the latter. And so a very significant market. And I think it's appropriate given the transformative shift of medicine towards these personalized and precision medicine drugs. So I think good position for us. Yeah, I'm really pleased you asked that. Obviously, we've been trying to build a sustainable business working with the pharmaceutical industry. But at the beating heart of what we're doing is trying to change the way patients are being tested. You know, typically, both in the United States, you could have anything up to 100,000 patients a year missing out on cancer treatment because of the way they're being tested. And so for us, this is really about looking at a disease level. How can we change the way, for example, a lung cancer patient currently goes maybe 4 years from cough to a targeted therapy? Can we bring that to 2 years? Can we shave an extra year off that? And in doing so, really change the trajectory of their health. Within the company, we very much think about that. We look at these disease areas and think, how can we change that trajectory? How can we disrupt that? So the huge patient story behind it. And I think one of the big futures for precision medicine is greater and greater patient involvement. After all, we should have a right to walk into a doctor and say, can I have the right tests that are right for me? So I think that's really the big patient story, the big patient impact. Again, I go back, you know, we've been building a good solid growth platform over the last 12 years. We have a great team around us, almost 100 people in 17 different countries. Some young, some experienced, all passionate. And I think the way I see the funding coming in at exactly the moment in time when we are ready to kind of take that next leap. And I'm hoping that as the funding comes into our accounts and we apply it, it'll really accelerate the business.